The world exists tomorrow. Now you know why. Jericho.
Well, we're dead, so, I guess the game's over now. Okay, everybody. Bye-bye. I love you. Alright, no, as you may have surmised, we seem to have switched control over to another member of Jericho. The team, missing their leader, decides they must enter an interdimensional breach to chase down the mysterious child. Ross is dead. In the box, however, death has a different meaning.
Is everyone here?
No, we're not all here. We lost Ross.
I'm still with you.
What?
There's someone in there with him. I can feel it.
Delgado, can you hear me?
Rawlings, it's me, Ross. I don't know what happened. I think I'm in him. Put those away, damn it. It's me.
Prove it.
Jesus Christ, Paul. Should I tell them about Prague, or do you want to trust me on this one?
Well, no shit.
Where's Frank? What have you done with him?
He's still here. He's just resting.
Resting my ass, puto? Get the fuck out of my head!
We saw you die. Leech killed you.
Not all of me.
Fascinating. I want you to try linking to Abby. Can you do that for me?
Well, let's see.
So here's the hook of the game. We're still technically Ross, but we can switch between every member of Jericho, or at least we eventually will be able to, each with their own unique weapons and powers. By holding space, we see our squad mates separated into Alpha and Omega Squad. At any point, as long as they're alive, we can take direct control of one of them. Here we use Abby Black to clear the way with her telekinesis, much like she did before.
I got a joke for you. How many telekinetic lesbian snipers does it take to clear a road?
That's Delgado, he's kind of a dick.
Hey, congratulations, Abby. Now you finally know what it's like to have a man inside you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's a dick, but we gotta play as him for now. Frank Delgado derives his power through what could be called shamanism. Specifically, he's made a pact with a fire spirit called Ababanelli. He offered his right arm as a sacrifice to Ababanelli, which is why he keeps it sealed in that big metal thing. He's able to release the fire spirit by exposing his arm, damaging him but allowing Ababanelli to seek out foes and set them ablaze. He fights primarily with a minigun attached to his sealed arm. This, combined with his high health, makes him the best member of Jericho at standing toe-to-toe with foes, as the minigun doesn't need to be reloaded. And no, there's no overheating mechanic either. Additionally, he has a high-powered pistol with a 6-shot magazine, useful for dealing headshots when you don't have time to rev up the minigun. Frank is generally, as I said, a dick to his fellow squad mates, but he does have a relationship with Billy Church.
Counting on you to get me out.
It's still me, Billy. Do you want to talk to Frank?
I know it's you. Hell, if it wasn't for you and Rawlings, I'd still be back in the asylum.
You don't have to thank me.
I'm not thanking you. That place was hell, but compared to this, shit. At least there I could have ended it whenever I wanted. You got me into this, I'm counting on you to get me out. We clear?
We're clear.
If you need my blood magic, you can link to me when you need to. Just don't screw up, or you'll have to deal with Frank.
So yeah, I don't know how he managed that, but now we get to play as Billy. Billy is probably the hardest member to play effectively on hard difficulty, as she has the lowest health and the shortest range. She has a rapid-fire machine pistol, but it doesn't do much damage and burns through ammo really quickly. She primarily fights with her sword, which is very effective, but obviously requires her to be in melee range with the spooky naked men with rusted sword arms. Billy is a sanguimancer, which means blood magic. She does blood magic. This manifests itself in-game as very useful area of effect abilities that hinder and damage foes, but at a cost. Using her magic drains Billy's health, which is already low, and she can't use those abilities if she doesn't have enough health, leaving her vulnerable. The first of these abilities is Blood Ward, which places a stationary orb of blood that will stun most nearby foes, making them easy pickings. Overall, Billy is all about picking your shots and once you get in, using her high speed to hopefully slice down the baddies before they do you. A road of petrified remains leads the teen closer to the firstborn, a path of souls stolen by the darkness of the box.
Does anyone have any idea where we are?
I think a more appropriate question is when we are.
Captain Ross, if you need to jump to me, you have my permission.
You sure you're okay with that, Cole? It's kind of, invasive.
You're just another network, sir.
Next is Simone Cole, one of the most important agents in keeping Jericho alive. Unlike the others, Simone isn't gifted with any occult magical properties. She is gifted with near superhuman intelligence, however, which she uses to manipulate reality through chaos algorithms and, I don't know, smarty-timey, magic bullshitty stuff. She's the reason we aren't running out of ammo as we traverse this hellscape, as Cole, as she puts it, downloads ammo into our reserves. Her weapon is a standard assault rifle, much like the one Ross used, but without the shotgun. She also has grenades that you have to hold the fire button down to give them range, you dumby. You can actually customize the grenades a lot, choosing between making them go off on a timer, on impact, or to act as proximity mines. You can even change the timer on the timed grenades. Now, you may have noticed our surroundings have changed a bit. There's odd bits of much more modern-looking infrastructure strewn about, and we've come across a new enemy. These big, hulking masses of meat do actually have heads, and though they have what look like to be World War II-era helmets on, we can actually do more damage by hitting them there. They can chunk our health rather quickly, though, and like to hide in cover, so it's often a war of attrition with these guys. Eventually, we come across what looks like a fortress, surrounded by barricades and World War II pillbox turrets. Now, if you were playing this game instead of watching it, I guarantee you'll get stuck on what to do here at first. Your allies are going to be yelling at Simone to grenade the pillboxes, but no matter how many you throw, nothing will work. What you're meant to do is use Cole's infinite loop ability to slow time, get behind the pillboxes, and press the spacebar. The issue is, the game doesn't give you the prompt that there is even an interact button until you are directly behind a turret. I'd hope your first instinct is not to run directly into a nest of turrets. Regardless, that's what we have to do. We let our squad take care of the machine gunners in the area and duck between cover to get behind each pillbox.
Welcome to the Path of Souls. You will contribute your face in time. Your will is weak, your magic inferior. Embrace me as your mistress, or your souls will pave the way for our glorious army.
The firstborn?
I don't think so.
How are these assholes still alive? That was like, what, 70 years ago?
65.
What about the previous squad? How did they close the breach?
We don't know. They never came back out.
Well, that's just fucking beautiful. Maybe they left us a note.
Delgado, holster your goddamn weapon!
Frank, what's wrong with you?
I didn't sign up for no fucking suicide mission.
If you're gonna point that at me, you better use it. Ah! What have you done?
Oh, fuck.
Frank, stop
What the
it!
hell is wrong with you, man?
Paul!
Delgado, stand down! Abby, constrict him.
Sir, do you think you can resurrect him?
One way to find out. Everybody stand back.
Delgado is a dick, but he gives us an excuse to learn that we can use Ross's healing power from whoever we're possessing at the time. The squad realizes that maybe this isn't the best place for infighting and tepidly make up before the mysterious voice returns.
This isn't over.
You should have let them kill one another. It would have saved me the trouble. You are outmatched. Relinquish your souls to me, or you will suffer eternal torture.
I think she wants us to surrender.
Pues, at least she's kept her sense of humor.
Lichthammer, I am Father Paul Rawlins of the United States Army Chaplain Corps. The war is over. The fatherland has fallen. Let us pass, and we will do what we can to release you and your men from this purgatory.
Arrogant bastard! You dare to address me? I will tear your manhood from you and feed it to your victuals!
Lichthammer was a powerful psychic in her own right. There's no telling what she's capable of now that she's been assimilated by the firstborn.
Recall that one of the loading screens told us that the Nazis were excavating Al-Khali, and you can put together what's happening here. The Nazis never left. We've been fighting their mutated undead bodies since we entered the breach. The fight with Lichthammer is less a fight with her and more of a survival gauntlet. Lichthammer will come down and chase after us, and then retreat after taking a few shots. Several enemies respawn. Interestingly enough, they're the cultists from earlier that we have to put down, and Lichthammer will return. Rinse and repeat. Delgado is probably the best choice for handling Lichthammer, as she's too fast to outrun and he can just minigun her in the face. Do this enough times and Jericho will receive some unexpected help.
Up there!
What is that?
I don't know who those guys are, but they have my thanks. Ross, if you need to jump into me, you have my blessing.
On discovering the German plans for the powers held deep within Al-Khali, the British Office of Strategic Services dispatched Blackwatch, a top-secret commando unit ordered to destroy the psychic German commander, Lichthammer. The team continues through a ruined battlefield facing several mutated soldiers. Here we can now play as Paul Rawlings, the oldest member of Jericho and the most informed. Rawlings is kind of a catch-all cleric, and his powers originate from his studies and faith. His main ability is, much like Ross, his ability to heal, but unlike Ross and those he possesses, Rawlings can heal from a distance. The animation for doing so is kind of irritatingly long, but it's still useful for when the AI gets stupid and runs one of your squad mates to their death. His weapons are 2 Desert Eagle pistols that he dual wields. The cool thing about these is he has 3 different types of ammunitions that you can switch between. He has normal bullets that are useful at medium range and have a quick fire rate, shrapnel bullets that turn his pistols into mini shotguns, and explosive bullets that explode. You can actually select different kinds of ammo for each pistol, making Rawlings very versatile. The only issues with playing Rawlings are 1, the AI likes to change his ammunition when you switch from him, so that's annoying. But mostly, by playing as him, you're the only member of the squad that can heal now, so if it's a tough fight and lots of people are going down, it's usually better to leave Rawlings on his own. Eventually, we come to a dark tunnel where we're prompted to switch to Delgado and use his fire shield ability. Conveniently, we run into a new enemy, still a hunk of meat, but this time with a flamethrower. Normally, these are pretty dangerous in close quarters, but Delgado's fire shield causes him to take no damage from fire and less damage from other sources. It also does minimal damage to enemies who touch it, but its primary use is to tank damage for the rest of the squad. It's not actually super useful outside of instances where you're specifically meant to use it, since you have to rely on the AI to do your shooting, but still, it's cool, I guess. After we exit the tunnel, we have a difficult fight with many respawning cultists and soldiers in front of a bunker. Following that, we find another tunnel, at the end of which we start hearing a familiar musical theme.
That's all of them.
I want
the seer.
the one you call
Jones!
Hey, Ross, can you hear me? If you need my astral projection, I'll let you drive for a while. Just make sure I get my body back in the same condition I left it.
We are now able to possess Jericho's second-in-command, Xavier Jones, and are introduced to his astral projection ability. Through a rather finicky targeting system, Jones can target enemies, or the Firstborn in this case, and see through their eyes. This allows him to manipulate the environment or help direct his allies' abilities. Here, the Widow Firstborn shows us a lever that we use to open the gate blocking our way.
Then we move forward. Let's just make sure we keep our eyes open.
Who are you? Identify yourselves.
Blackwatch were sent to seal the breach opened by Han, Lichthammer, and her men. To defeat Lichthammer, they'll need the combined power of the Jericho team.
I think they're clean, Nige. You sure? The big man there was setting things on fire.
Don't fucking touch me.
Well now, who's been making pacts with fire demons? Nasty business, that. You're as mad as I am. Let them go, Nige. I think they're safe.
Know our feelings, chum.
I'm Major Patrick Buckland of the Black Watch, Office of Strategic Services, and this is Corporal Nigel Barndon.
Apologies for the reception, but it's been a long time since we've seen new faces in here.
Pat Buckland. The same Pat Buckland that served alongside Alistair Crowley in the OSS? You knew my father, Gideon Rawlings. We're with Jericho, same as you.
Bloody hell. Then the breach is open again?
65 years.
That all? Thank heavens we didn't have to wait as long as the last lot, eh?
The last.
You all might want to sit down for this.
Nothing makes much sense here in the Pixies. None of the normal rules apply. Death, hunger, day, night. If you die, the flies take you, and when you return, well, you may look human, but you belong to the Firstborn. You know about the Firstborn, right? God creates this thing, discovers it's too bloody powerful, and decides to wipe it off the face of the earth. But he can't kill it, so he creates the Pixies, this box, if you like. It's like a little slice of reality was carved out as a toy box, and we're the toys. It doesn't go away, mind you. It just sits, and it waits for some poor, disillusioned bastard to set it free. But this time, it grows larger, and when mankind manages to shut it away again, it takes a little piece of our world back to its prison. And of course it waits, and it grows stronger. So the next time it gets out...
It takes more of our world back with it.
And each time, 7 poor bastards blessed with a conjuring are sent into the breach to strike at its heart and send it away.
Until the next time, that is.
What was that?
Unwanted guests.
We'll have to continue our story some other time. We need to get you to the breach and past Jerry's defenses. Bloody hell! All right, chaps. Stay close and follow me.
Playing as Jones is nearly identical to playing as Ross from the beginning of the game. He has the same weapon, an assault rifle with a shotgun attached. His astral projection can be used to set up things like blood wards from a distance, but it's mostly used for puzzles we'll see later. Anyway, thanks to the members of Blackwatch, we now know why some of the enemies we've been killing get carried away by masses of flies. This is basically the Firstborn collecting them, and totally not to clear the corpses from the game's memory. Strange that Ross didn't suffer the same fate. Now, we've been able to play as her since Ross died, but I suppose I'll go over Abigail Black now. The group's sniper, Black possesses telekinetic powers that she's able to manipulate to such a degree that she can control her bullets after firing them. Abby is honestly the funnest member of Jericho to play in my opinion, as her sniper rifle is very satisfying to use and it comes with its own grenade launcher. It can only fire one grenade before reloading, but it makes dealing with enemies like explosive cultists a breeze. She can use her telekinesis to stun enemies in close range, but she's still very ineffective in melee, so she doesn't work in every situation.
Holy Mary, Mother of God!
Eventually we come to an impasse where Blackwatch explains the situation.
They built the gateway to the next level of the Pixies directly over the temple ruins. We need to get your team as close as we can. Jerry thinks he's gone and got one over on us. Little does he know that we had Private Tuck rig the whole bloody place to explode should they ever overrun us. Ready to give him a bollocking, Tuck?
You know what I think? I think we're in hell.
Okay, Tuck. Not really what we asked, but okay, yeah. Oh no, Tuck! With the demise of Private Tuck, it's up to Black to shoot the detonator to start the explosions. By hitting E when her rifle is glowing, we can send out a ghost bullet, which we can steer in flight. This bullet will actually penetrate enemies, making it very useful for getting multiple headshots if they're lined up correctly. With the way clear, Jericho continues deeper into the box.
That seems to be the last of them.
Lichthammer's minions attack the mosque that Blackwatch have been using as a refuge. Covering their escape, Blackwatch and Jericho detonate carefully placed bombs. Jericho needs to find the breach to get to the next time slice.
Sir, I'm detecting another intersection of ley lines nearby.
Right you are. He was gonna march them right through those gates there, down the path of souls, and from there...
The world.
Jerry's built that gate right over the top of the breach that leads deeper into the Pixies. Which means first we've got to get you through that in one piece. Looks like you're gonna have to get your hands on Lichthammer if you're gonna get out of here. I don't envy you.
So, if you're feeling a little lost, that's okay because the game kind of throws a lot of terms at you without really explaining them all that well. Essentially, the Firstborn is big bad, like in the world kind of bad. It's also unkillable, so the best anyone's been able to do is seal it up in a pocket dimension called the Pyxis, or the box. That's what we're in now. Every time someone's opened the box in order to claim the first one's power, or just because they didn't know what they were doing, someone's had to go inside to seal it again. And as we can see from meeting members of Blackwatch, they don't come out. We make our way through multiple firefights where we run into another variant of the meat soldiers. This one has a giant mortar, and they like to hide in the back and fire it at us. Using Abby's ghost bullet or grenade launcher to get around the cover is very useful here. Eventually we come across a wide open area facing huge walls, atop of which mortar soldiers lob explosives at us. No matter how many times we kill these things, they'll keep respawning. What we need to do is use Jones's astral projection on one of them. It's harder than it looks. But after fighting with the controls, we're able to see the fuel tanks it wants us to blow up, and we direct Delgado's pyromancy to do just that.
You Yanks aren't very subtle, are you? Every Jerry from miles around is going to come running now. I think we need a new approach, lads. Why don't a team of you go after Lichthammer, and the rest of us create a diversion? Maybe draw off some of the defenders.
Okay, Church, Rawlings, and Cole will go after Fraulein Lichthammer. The rest of you stay behind and lead the diversionary assault.
Whilst part of the Jericho team and the British commando unit stay behind to form a diversion, Rawlings with Church and Cole infiltrate Lichthammer's hideout to find out how to get through the next breach. You start the next section as Cole, and that's when I remember, oh yeah, she can turn on her visor. This functions as kind of a zoom-in, but it mostly allows you to see enemy weak points. More of a gimmick than anything, but neat nonetheless. The trek through the Nazi facility is fairly long and a bit difficult since you're down most of the squad. It's mostly narrow hallways, so we make use of Billy's sword and Rawlings' shotgun ammo. Equipping both of his pistols with this ammo and firing them at the same time gives you some of the most burst damage in the game and is how I prefer to play the Preacher Man.
Have you come to join us? We never turn down good flesh, especially not a man of God. How's your faith today, Father?
I've come to have a word with you, Hannah.
Only if you're prepared to beg for it.
It wasn't a request.
Round 2 with Lichthammer is much like the first, except she never stops coming back. Our goal here is to use Billy's Blood War to stun and hold the Nazi in place.
Your pimp has taught you well. So obedient. Where did you ever find them, Father?
Ignore her. Been doing this for 40 years and they still can't think of a single original thing to say.
Original? How's this for original? The Blood Witch wants you with fuck her the way her father did. Isn't that right?
I'll take it from here. Step away from her. In nomine Patris.
Do you think the word of God has any meaning here, pederast? Son of a whore! Defiler of children!
Amen.
Who are you?
Okay, so the QuickTime event for subduing Lichthammer isn't that hard if you don't fuck up the first input, but it goes on way too long.
That explains her reluctance to cooperate. The gateway to the next level of the Pyxis. Somehow she's absorbed it. Made herself the key to opening the breach. It's inside of her. Billy, rejoin the others and help with the diversion. Now we'll take our friend here to the gateway.
The key to opening the breach is in Lichthammer's own vile blood. This must be extracted in a blood ritual to allow Jericho to pass deeper into the box. The rest of Jericho, joined by Church, engages the enemy head-on. Most of the encounters here are in long corridors, making black an excellent way to clear enemies. Eventually, Rawlings informs us that he needs Billy to meet with him to complete the ritual to open the gateway.
We need you, Billy. You're the only one skilled in sanguimancy.
What do I do?
Spill her blood and open the gateway. Hurry! We can't hold her much longer.
He's deceived you all! Kill me and there's no way back to your fold!
For God's sake, do it!
Please! Please! Help me, Philomena!
Only my daddy called me Wilhelmina. My name's Billy.
That looks like your train.
Aren't you coming?
Wouldn't do you much good, I'm afraid. The Firstborns had plenty of time to get to know us. It can smell us centuries away. We'd be more a liability than a help. Besides, we have to take precautions, just in case, see?
In case what?
In case you don't succeed. You can't close the breach.
Someone's got to stay behind and make sure the next lot make it through. Such is the fate of Jericho, I'm sorry to say. Life's great reward.
Sir, the breach is weakening. We need to go.
Oh, and Captain, once you get on the other side, get to the fortress as fast as you can. The Templars will tell you the rest.
Did he say Templars?